What's up, everybody? Tony's Topics. Hey, don't forget, like and subscribe. I got an awesome guest here today. We're going to be talking about the hip hop world, music, and this artist right here is be dropping a new album this month. Kane, thank you for joining me on my show, Tony's Topics. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. Glad to be here.
You're in Texas. I'm in New Jersey. I'm jealous because you were saying off camera that you guys had a cold snap and it was 60 degrees. People would give their leg for 60 degrees here in Jersey, but the cold snaps, quote unquote. So, yeah, you have a very interesting album, and me being a DJ, I love all types of music, and I wanted to have you on to discuss, this unique album that you do have. And before I forget, when your album comes out, how can people, listen to your album and purchase the album? So, where do they find you?
Yeah, so actually for streaming, you could actually find it on Amazon, Apple Music, Spotify, all of the major platforms. I actually have a opportunity for people to download order the vinyl and or physical CD copy with Elastic Stage. I can share that link with you a little bit later if you need that. If you don't have.
Yeah, and you could always put it in the comment sections also afterwards. But that's pretty cool, man. So my first piece of music, I'm a little older than you, but my first piece of music ever was a record. I mean, they're coming back. I mean, people love the tactile nature of it. You know, you just gone are those days. You know, everything is just digital, and you can't touch it, can't feel it, can't see it. So that's so cool that you're gonna have a type of release for that too. CDs also.
Absolutely.
So yeah, speaking of albums, so what's one song on this album that means the most to you personally, and what's the story behind it?
Oh man, so to be honest, that's a little bit of a tough question. The reason being is because the album itself almost speaks to pretty much my life as a whole in stages. But if I had to pick one particular song, I would probably say "Still Standing," and the reason for that one would be because we all go through certain situations, trials and tribulations in life. Myself, from a personal perspective, as well as throughout my military career, and to be able to survive through the different adversities that we go through and still see yourself here to be able to tell that story. So that kind of speaks to me. I think that will probably be the one.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now, the way you pause, I guess it's kind of like children, right?
Yeah.
Say which one of your children you love the most? I mean, your songs are your children.
Absolutely.
It's not that you love one more than the other, but they take on lives of their own. So,
Yeah.
So now, what made you? I guess when did you start to realize you had a talent for this, or you enjoyed it? Like, how old were you?
Yeah. So my musical journey has actually been kind of fluid. I actually found music very early on in life. Initially, I used to be kind of shy. I would just write poems. I didn't really know that I had specifically a voice per se. It was actually kind of funny. I lost my poem book, and my cousin found it and thought it was raps. And he told everyone, "Hey, man, did y'all know he could rap? Like, hey, man, you need to rap." So everyone kind of pushed me to it, and I gave it a shot at that point. So that was kind of when I found music.
Yeah, interesting, because I always say that, actually. I always say that, rap is the spoken word. It is poetry. Even singing, right? When you look at it on paper, it's poetry. And then that comes to life through backbeats and instruments and whatever. But at its core, you're, musicians, rap artists, you are storytellers. And it is an extension of poetry. So I'm not surprised that your family found it and thought it was, rap lyrics, because really, in essence, they're both the same, really. So that's pretty cool. All right, and then so now, if someone listens to your album from beginning to end, what journey are you hoping to take them on? What kind of experience do you want to lay out for the listener?
It would almost be, I guess I would probably say, like a cinematic experience, but also potentially therapeutic. I think a lot of people, if they actually followed that album from beginning to end, they would find a lot within themselves that they could relate to from listening to it.
Right.
So that I would probably say something that would be more like a cinematic experience, so to speak.
Got it. And so, just to reiterate it too, and let people know, so what is the official name of your album?
So the name of the album is "This Is White Noise."
Okay.
Yeah, so I actually have the title track, "This Is White Noise." It's a single that I already have out that's available for download, streaming, etc. And in that song, I actually have it put out and I say, white noise is my soul. So it gives them an opportunity to kind of peer into, not only just my music, but my life as a whole. Because it's more than rap. Obviously, it's based and foundationed off of that, but it really taps into my songwriting abilities as well. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in the way you're talking about it, I feel like, music, rap, or any kind of music, whether it's rock and roll, opera, R&B, whatever, they're almost companions to us, right? It's like, it's
Absolutely.
more than just music. It's the soundtrack of your life, but it's also your mistress. It's your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your other.
It's the significant other, that loved one.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, and we don't realize that until, I guess, we bring it up. It's like, oh yeah, it's more, it's funny. I asked my friends on Facebook, I said, hey, what would you rather live without, movies or music? Like over 100 people said they could live without movies. They can't live without music. Like music it's in our DNA. It's what we are.
Well, because you could still love a song without a visual.
Right.
But with the majority of movies, it's much less entertaining without the soundtrack to go with it.
Oh, right.
Or the score. Yeah.
Right. 100%. So was there a moment while you were making this album where you thought, okay, this is, the sound of my future? Like at a moment, did you feel like this is something unique, or did it, anything like magical, spiritual, any kind of click where you're like, well, this is it?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. It was probably when I was doing the actual title of the album, "This Is White Noise," that particular song, because that was midway through the process for me. I was already about a quarter of the way done, and at that point, I had already done Flatline and Money Over Everything, and these were the more closely associated to hip hop tracks that I had. But I started getting a little bit more open, a little bit more vulnerable, a little bit more honest. And I wanted to make sure that I attracted audiences and tapped into people who were more than just rap listeners. Because I already knew if you're a fan of hip hop and you love rap music, there's going to be stuff in there that's obviously going to get your attention because I'm rooted in that. But how can I address people who are probably on the outside of that, or your more casual listener when it comes to rap instead of your typical hip hop heads? And it was like, man, I'm not only speaking to a lot of other people, but I didn't even really have to change much up. It's still something that would resonate with anyone regardless of the genre that the music is falling under. And it was like, man, this is probably going to be one of the more broader moves I've ever made musically, because usually I just kind of sat back in the pocket of rap because I knew how to do that for sure. So yeah, I think that was kind of the point. Like at that point, I was like, man, this is probably going to be something special. This is where white noise. You know what? This is white noise, and that's where the title came from.
Right. So you stepped out of your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you mentioned something. It's funny because I'm going to have a pastor on tomorrow, and he has a book out, and he says, to be a pastor or to be someone that can connect with others, and you touched on this, that's why I'm bringing it up. You had to delve into your honesty, and you had to be open of your life a little bit. And I think that is the ace card to connect with listeners,
right?
To connect with anybody. If you're going to rap or sing or whatever in life, and be anything, like when you can be open a little bit and be honest, I think you just attract people like a magnet. So that in your lyrics is very powerful because you're opening yourself up, and in that moment of you being weak, it's really you being strong.
Right.
There's an old saying. I'm not the most religious guy on earth, but I think it's in the Bible. It says something about those who humble themselves shall be exalted. Those who exalt themselves shall be humbled. So the fact that you're being honest and open, that's a power really in your lyrics and in your songs. So that's pretty cool you mentioned that. It's funny too. Now this is just pure timing, I guess, but if we go back to when hip hop became popular, whatever, the 80s, 90s, golden era hip hop, but like now is such a great time for artists like yourself because you can do all of this production, high end stuff that wasn't available to artists 15 years ago.
Right.
20 years ago. I mean, 20 years ago, you would have to find a record label. You would have to go into a studio. I mean, good luck, you know.
That impress an A&R. Yeah.
Right. You know,
Yeah.
now the power is in the hands of you, the artist, and the people will be the judge, you know, and that's the ultimate democracy. And that's so cool. And that's just, I guess, a little bit of luck in that respect. But what an awesome time to be alive that you're able to do this and utilize these tools to get your message out and to connect to people. That's just, it's a very special moment in time.
Yeah, I also think the beautiful part about it is I actually lived through both. Yeah, I found.
You're your age, but you're old enough. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not afraid to say it. I found music in the late '80s, early '90s, right?
Okay.
I'll be 45 the end of this month. In fact, the release date of this album is on my birthday, March 31st.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So it actually, it speaks to that. So, but yeah, I remember what it was like trying to get out there and get an opportunity to be on stage and perform and, try to, especially coming from, you see it there, Mississippi. There's not many opportunities for hip hop artists or, musicians to go on that path. So, going from that and now where we are with technology, as you said,
I mean, it's amazing and it keeps getting better for artists. And you can make the argument in many ways it's worse for artists because artists are not getting paid like they used to. Totally get that. But also back then when artists made a lot of money, they also only a handful of artists can make a lot of money.
Right.
99% of the other artists got screwed. They never got a chance, like you're saying, right?
Yeah.
In Mississippi. Now everyone gets a chance.
Yeah.
The downside is, yes, gone are those, $50 million contracts, but you get exposed to potentially more listeners. So it's a give and a take. But I still say I think it's a great time to be alive in the sense of the technology it's available for artists today. So
yeah, I think that's the beautiful part about it because it's to the point that you were making a second ago. In the past, artists, it may have appeared that they made $50 million, but they generated $50 million.
Right.
Whereas right now, with the opportunities that we have, I'm not only the artist, but I'm the producer, I'm the songwriter, I'm the A&R. Everything, this entire project is me. Yeah. So I don't have to worry about any outside entities.
Right. No BS, no politics, no backstabbing. Like you are the captain of your own ship.
And I have that creative freedom without having to do, the label said I have to do this type of song, etc.
100%. And there's something that you can't put a price tag on, So everyone's all worried about money. But what about freedom? You can't put a price on freedom. And as you know, you're a veteran too. There's the ultimate freedom, but also freedom of, again, to be creative and not have to worry about A&R and marketing department and all that jazz. You can do that, now. So that's awesome. So I was gonna say, so what was something what's something about or something in this album that fans might miss the first time they listen to it?
I think one of the things that they'll probably miss more than anything on first listen would be the Easter eggs, because so many of the songs are stitched together in a fashion to where some of them call back to previous songs on the album. So if you're not paying attention, or even if you are, you might get caught up on the beat or the hook might be catchy to you, and then you go back and, oh wait, did he say this? And then, oh man, that reminds me of what he was talking about on track 2. So they all tie in together. As I said, it's kind of like a story. It's more of a cinematic experience. So yeah.
That's interesting too, because you're old enough, and so am I, that back in the day you kind of had to listen to a whole album because it was either a record or a CD or tape.
Yes.
And you could fast forward, yes, but you were more apt to listen to everything because it was just that's how a CD and a record were.
Yeah, it was an experience.
Right. And so that's interesting that you laid it out that way. So you kind of, I don't want to say forced, but you're encouraging the listener to really pay attention, because if you miss something, then you got to kind of go back.
Right.
So that's an awesome thing, because that's how it used to be, where you got a chance to listen to side B or listen to the whole album. Now everything is just singles and singles and singles, and it's just in a way you're missing a lot. So that's
right.
Cool that your album is laid out like that it's kind of like a blockchain of sorts, it's all linked. So okay, that's interesting. So now 5 years from now, when people look back at this album, what do you hope they say about it 5 years from now in 2000 whatever?
Well, I mean, 5 years from now, I hope they say, one, that it's one of their favorite albums they could remember going back to and something that resonates with them. But then you know, hopefully it's something that potentially starts a trend. You know, everything kind of goes in cycles. And what I could say about this project is it's vastly different from anything that everyone else is kind of doing right now. Um, it's something that people can relate to, but it's not, you know, I don't want to necessarily disrespect any other artist that's out there, but it's not a copycat type thing.
Got it.
This is definitely its own unique thing, because I came from an era where you knew who the artists were because these artists were unique for those specific sounds.
Right, right. No, interesting. Yeah, and in a way, you know, also you're laying a legacy out for your kids and grandkids and great grandkids. That, you know, this is eternal. I mean,
Absolutely.
long after we're gone, your music like will live on,
It will
and
be here.
your great grandkids can say, "Oh my God, that was my great grandfather's song," and that was like, I don't have that. You probably don't have that because it didn't exist back then.
Right.
Internet and stuff like that. Maybe I have a photo of my grandfather. You know what I mean? But I don't even have videos. I mean, I maybe have one, but yeah, I mean, now again, great time because this is something that you can lay that legacy down that so many of your family will remember you
Sure.
even 100 years from now. Like, "Wow, that was my great grandfather." Oh
Yeah.
my God. So that's so cool. It is a legacy.
Absolutely.
So yeah, no, I mean, it's amazing. So now rapid fire questions. Okay. So I'm gonna have to jump in here on this one. So one rapper, dead or alive, who would you want to collaborate with?
Oh man, there are so many.
Your favorite child.
I'll say I'll try to narrow it down, but I know for a fact that I love lyricists, people who are storytellers.
Yeah.
So you know, and being from the South, Andre 3000 comes to mind for sure.
Okay.
If we're talking, you know, modern era, then you know Kendrick Lamar would go in there because he's creative and
Yeah.
he can narrate a good story. Black Thought, there's a lot.
Yeah.
But you know, if you put me on the spot, I would say either Scarface or Andre 3000, staying with my regional area.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Interesting. Yeah, all right. So yeah, you're in the car.
Yep.
Which track from your album should I? Well, I'm in the car. So which track from your album should I play first?
Yeah, okay, that's a good one because if it's me, it'll probably be a different track. But if it's other
do
people,
you and me. You do yours and tell me which one I should listen to.
Gotcha. So all right, for me personally, it will be After the Noise. It'll be the final track on the album because you've experienced everything and it breaks it all down and closes the storybook. But for anyone else, if you're just listening to the album and you want to have something that's just going to catch you, I would probably say Flatline, without a doubt. Like that will be the one that's like, man, this one, you know, from the very beginning, it'll catch you. So yeah.
Flatline. Cool. So now, when you, and this is because nobody really goes to physical studios anymore, but when you're recording studio session, are you a night owl or an early bird?
I would say more than likely a night owl. It's something about having a little bit more freedom during the nighttime, less distraction.
Right. You know, it's funny you mentioned that because I was just thinking that recently. So I've been DJing for 33 years. I've DJed thousands and thousands and thousands of parties, and for me, kind of what you're alluding to. I don't know if you feel this way, but there's something about the evening, the night hours that is kind of free.
Yeah.
You know, it's got almost like a mystic, dark, good energy.
Right.
It's special. It's like a secret, and only you and others might know it. But the daytime, I like the daytime too. But the daytime is 9 to 5. Everybody's out. You know, there's something magical about the evening. You know.
Yeah.
That's the energy.
I can relate to that. And then, you know, also, though, if you're doing it during the daytime, a lot of times, like, oh, man, it's getting late. It's starting to get dark. Like, it seems like there's a limit to it when it's the daytime. When it's the nighttime, it's like, man, it's your world. You just do what you need to do.
Yeah, it's outer space. It's just dark. It can go on forever. Yeah. There's that energy. And that's, I think, one of the things I love about DJing is, like, yeah, there's that not to sound like... what do you call it? Not to be like an astronomer, but something about the dark energy of the evening. It's just, it's almost like limitless. It's special. It's different.
Yeah.
Like you said, you know, when it's daytime, that kind of comes to an end. But obviously on a clock, it's all the same. But
sure.
Something about the evening, it's outer space. It just almost feels like eternal.
Yeah.
But okay, so now my last question is, if a major label says to you, hey, we want to offer you a huge deal tomorrow, but we want control of your sound and everything. We tell you what you're going to be and what you're going to do. I don't know. I mean, I guess what's a huge deal? What's a huge offer? I don't know. I mean, there's a difference between a million and a billion, but I mean, yeah,
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, personally, I prefer not. I mean, this is, to be honest with you, the only reason why I'm actually back at it, you know, once again, seeing my first love of music is because I have the opportunity to do it without the politics of a label and all of the constraints, etc. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely prefer to go about it the way that I'm going about it now, because everything that's experienced through it is completely mine.
Yeah, ownership is important. I mean, you hear so many stories of like, for instance, Sylvester Stallone, the actor, and they had asked him like when he made Rocky, they
Hmm.
offered him $100,000 back in 1976, which is like $2
That was
million dollars
Yeah, it was a
today.
lot of money back then for sure.
And he
Yeah,
was poor. He was broke, and
yeah,
he's like, I could have really used that, to to give it, but he would have to give up everything.
right,
And he's like, you know what? I've come this far. I'm not gonna sell my soul. It's gonna be
right.
my way, or that's it. And hey, paid off handsomely for him, even though it wasn't about the money. Back
Yeah,
to your point.
sure. And just like that with the movies, right? So for him, it would be his face on that project. So if he let someone else take control of that, whatever they dictate and whatever that product ends up, people are only going to remember his face. So
Right.
the same thing with me with my music. If I just let a label take over, whatever they determine it to be, my sound is going to be remembered as whatever product they put out.
Yes. No, it's true. And,
Yeah,
and again, that's a legacy too. That
absolutely.
your kids can see, hey, this was. Can you imagine? I mean, I get it. Money is important in life, but also staying true to who you are. I mean, because your kids and grandkids would be like, wait a second, that's not Grandpa.
Right.
What did he do that? Like so. And there's something to say about, hey, my great grandfather, he didn't sell out. He was true to himself. Like that's more than gold. And you'll always find money to pay your life and bills. I mean, so that's. But there's something to be said about not selling out.
It's just funny that you say that because there's a song on the Money Over Everything actually speaks to
Okay,
that.
yeah. Right.
So like, yeah, this I'm excited about people getting the opportunity to hear this album because, yeah, I speak to a lot of those things, chasing money and dealing with the repercussions of realizing money isn't everything and the fallout. And it's a lot, but it's a great experience, and I can't wait.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Now, again, where can people find the album and purchase and listen to it?
Yeah, so again, they can find it on Amazon Music, Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, whatever your favorite streaming platform is. White Noise by Kane. The album is This Is White Noise by Kane. You can also find me on Elastic Stage. I have the physical copies for the CD will be available for order on the 31st. Vinyls are available for pre-order right now. And also on YouTube on the 31st, on my birthday. That is the release day. I have a full cinematic experience that is out there that's going to be available for everybody to watch. It gives you the full concept of the album and explains everything in full detail. So I'm excited.
Awesome. I'm pumped up for you. I mean, not many people can say what you just said. I mean, this is something that so many people say, oh, I wish I could have, I would, you're doing it. You're doing
Right.
it, and that's a big accomplishment. Like I said, it's legacy. It's something that is your baby. And
Yeah. One thing for me, I used to always go about life saying I hate the word regret. I hate to say, man, I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have did that. And releasing this album is my climbing Mount Everest. That was what I always wanted to do, have an opportunity to put out something that is mine, let my legacy be known and heard. And this is it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like Frank Sinatra once said, regrets, he's had a few, but you don't want too many. You just want a few, but
Sure.
Right. You don't want to be coulda, shoulda, woulda on your deathbed. You want to say, I did it and I have no regrets, so it takes a level of bravery, a different type of bravery, and, I mean, it's definitely, something that not many people can say they've done. So, no, I appreciate you coming on, Kane. And you can, again, you know where to find them, folks. And like and subscribe. Kane, thank you for coming on to Tony's Topics.
Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, awesome. All the best. And can't wait to check out that album on March 31st, everybody.
I'm lost, I'm stressed, I got no sense of direction. Chasing a dream, but I question the question. I look everywhere, the right place I can't find. Paranoid thoughts got me losing my mind. I'm lost, I'm stressed, spinning out of control. Tryna find peace, but I'm losing my hope. I look everywhere, still searching for signs.